Welcome to Misa Simline's YouTube channel.
In today's class, I want to show us the various tools that I must have for as a beginner in sewing. These tools are very essential in day-to-day activities of a fashion designer. And the first on our list is our measuring tape. It is flexible and very important for taking body measurements, marking fabrics, and checking seam allowances. When you want to get your measuring tape, it is advised that you choose a 60-inch tape. It is most used, and make sure that the markings are double-sided like this one. On this side we have the centimeters, and on this side we have the inches, so it is versatile for your use. And next are our cutting scissors. A sharp fabric scissors gives a clean and accurate cut. You will be able to cut your fabrics with ease, and the edges will not be serrated except you are using a serrated scissors. And you have to have two different scissors for when you are cutting on fabric and when you are cutting on paper. I use this big scissors when I am cutting on my fabric. When I'm on the cutting table, I use this big scissors, and I also use this scissors, this small black one, to cut my pattern. You don't use one fabric for both purposes. It is going to dull your blades. I took a step further and also have a scissors that I use while sewing. So this one is when I'm drafting, when I want to cut on the paper. This one is when I'm sewing and I want to cut thread or anything on my sewing machine, and this one is always on my cutting table. I have these different scissors so I do not mix them up. They serve different purposes. Seam rippers. These are very useful when you want to undo your stitches. Everyone makes mistakes. This tiny tool that you are seeing here helps to remove wrong stitches neatly. You use the sharp tip to slide under stitches without tearing your fabric. It also serves as a buttonhole opener. For example, I want to lose the stitch on this fabric here now. So what I'm going to do is insert this sharp edge here. I'm going to insert it in between the seams like this and pull it. As you can see, it gives way. Tailor's chalk. They are using for markings on fabric, dart lines, pattern lines, and etc. For whatever marking that you want to make on your fabric, these chalks are recommended because it is removable. It fades or disappears when you wash your clothes or when you iron it. We also need sewing threads. Essentially, that is what you do. You sew. So how do you sew without your thread? They come in different colors. High quality ones like this work on almost all fabrics, and they are most recommended are the small ones. But if you cannot get this big one because it is more expensive than the small one, then go for the small one. Choose your colors according to the color of the fabric that you have. You do not use a contrasting color on your fabric. On this fabric that I'm holding now, I cannot use color white. The colors does not match. As you can see, it is glaring, like very obvious on it. So you use the exact color of the fabric or the one next to it. If you cannot get the exact shade of the fabric that you have, you can use the one closer to it, but make sure you do not use colors that are in contrast. That is very important when choosing your thread. Your machine won't sew properly without the right needle. You can start with a universal size 12 for most fabrics. I already did a detailed tutorial on how to choose the right sewing machine needle for your machine and your fabric. I will leave a link to it in the description box. We also have end sewing needles. Even if you use a sewing machine, hand needles are a must for finishing touches, buttons, or other quick fixes on your fabric. You get a different sizes for your sewing. This large one is size 3.5, and this small one here is a size 1. There are other sizes in between these two, but you get that size according to the purpose you want it to serve. We also have pins. Pins helps hold fabric pieces together before sewing. You are advised to use a glass head pins like this one that I'm holding against plastic head-ons, because this one holds it. It does not melt under it, while the plastic one melts. When you are ironing your clothes, it will melt off. So you are advised to get this one, but if you are unable to get this one, then the plastic head tool serves a purpose. Just make sure that you do not put it under it. Pin cushions are used to hold your pins together so they will not go missing, and it keeps them organized. I do not have one because it irritates me, honestly. Seeing the pins just hanging around it gives me goosebumps, so I do not keep a pin cushion. However, I make sure that I replace each one that I take from this plate here. I make sure that I replace them. That's how I'm able to keep my needles. We have different rulers. This one is used on your neck to curve the neck, and also for your armhole curve. It helps to make the perfect shape for your neck. Any shape that you want. If it is V-neck, then you bring it down like this and make your markings. Whatever shape that you want to make. Then we have this French curve as well. It can also be used in a variety of ways. This side here, it serves as a ruler, a straight ruler. This side, I use it for armhole curves, as well as hip curve, and any other use that you might have for it. You can also use it on your neck. Can you see? It serves variety of purposes, and this is basically a hip curve. As you can see it here, the curved part here is what you use on your hip. Then we have this for straight ruling. It is a size 24-inch ruler. You can have it longer than this, and you can have it shorter. It depends on what you want to use it for. This is a tracing wheel for when you want to trace your pattern onto another paper. As you can see, it has this sharp edges that is going to pierce into your paper and make the print on the paper laying under it.
If you have watched the video until this moment, please do well to like it and subscribe to the channel.
You might not see the print clearly, but I will shade it out how it has transferred the trace rule on the paper on top of it to this side. Can you see that it is almost at the same place? Can you see that? So that is what you use the tracing wheel for.
This brings us to the end of this tutorial. Kindly like the video so YouTube can push it for others that are in need of such content. And also subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification bells so you will get notified whenever I post new videos on the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next tutorial.